Luppi. I'm an International Relations Officer for San Patrignano, and I'm here to tell you a little bit about my story. I was born in Italy, but after my parents' divorce, my family moved to the United States. I was a very shy little girl, very insecure, full of doubt. I never felt like I fit in. When I reached high school, marijuana became a way to overcome my shyness and become part of a group. Once I moved away from home and went to college, my drug use escalated, and I experimented with stronger substances like LSD, cocaine, and eventually heroin. Using became a normal part of my everyday life. At 19, I sought the help of a psychologist who diagnosed me with generalized anxiety disorder and chronic depression, prescribing me a series of pharmaceuticals to treat me. Eventually, I was taking almost 20 pills a day, all prescribed by my doctor. I added my own blend of drugs to the mix, self-medicating, but always unable to find peace of mind. I went in and out of 28-day standard treatment facilities, costing up to $30,000 a month to detox before being sent on my way to attend self-help meetings. I would last 1 or 2 months and always be week to week and go back to using. This went on for a few years before one day my psychologist told my father that it was best he accept that for me there was nothing more there was to be done. I had a chronic psychiatric illness and I would always need treatment and medication for the rest of my life. I was 24 years old at the time. My father could not accept this verdict. He remembered that for years people had talked about a place in Italy that was called a therapeutic community that offered its services free of charge. After thousands of dollars spent on clinics, which yielded no results, he decided to help me go back to Italy and San Patrignano. Neither of us at this point had anything left to lose. My first inkling that things were different came when immediately they told me I wasn't sick or crazy and that I simply needed some time and care. The program was longer than I was used to, but there was no set time for treatment. They simply told me that everybody is different and that the program ends when you're ready to go. In the beginning, it was not easy. I had a hard time believing I could be normal. Being labeled as ill had become the ultimate crutch for me, something I had become reluctant to let go of. I started to cut down on the medication as soon as I arrived. To tell the truth, I was afraid to discover how I would feel. It took months for me to slowly decrease the doses, but I distinctly remember the first day I no longer took any pills. I couldn't believe that I felt good. It was then I realized that I was not hopelessly ill at all. It may seem funny, but I was shocked to discover that I was normal, and that I found what I've been looking for my entire life: real freedom. Of course, freedom means responsibility, and sometimes difficulty. I have my ups and downs, but that's part of life, a life I'm no longer afraid to live. Years later, now I have a career, a home, and hope and optimism I could have never imagined. And wherever I go to tell my story, in the hopes that every addict can have the same chance I did. Whenever I hear people advocating methadone maintenance and other harm reduction methods as the only way for those who can't make it, I know I must fight, because when my own father was told there was nothing more to do, he did not accept to simply reduce my harm, but was determined to help me get better. I hope everyone suffering from addiction can have at least one person who believes they have the chance, to really live. Thank you.